And we're back with tips 21 to 40 from my top tips guide for new starters to GTA in 2024. I'll be giving you top tips for the whole game, working with my brand new character. So if you're new to GTA Online, this is your essential guide to getting started. And if you're a more experienced player, then keep watching because some of these will definitely help you too. And this week, we're covering all things Cayo Perico. Now this isn't a step-by-step guide, I have one of those here, and another one over here. This is a useful list of tips that I've learnt whilst making over 800 million in this game. So let's get into it with tip 21. After meeting Miggy Madrazo in the music locker next to the casino, you'll be able to buy the Casaca for 2.2 million. Now, unless you have enough money for the Sparrow, don't bother with any of the upgrades for now. Some of these, like the missiles, will make life easier later in the game, but none are essential for now. And by the way, between the Acid Lab, Headhunter and Dax missions, you'll have the 2.2 million you need in no time. Now the first time you do the Cayo Perico Heist, you'll start on the beach and you'll have to sneak past the guards. I find the easiest route is to go around the back, sneak through this gate and along the side of the channel. You're then pretty much free to get wherever you want. On subsequent runs, you'll start at the airstrip. So for that, take the motorbike, head up here, across here, avoiding the titanium bushes, cross the road here, woohoo! Woo! And then wait for this guard to face this way. Then just gun it, aim to go around the last palm tree, and then hit the hill here. Pull back on your thumbstick just before you hit the jump to make sure you don't fall off, and you should majestically fly straight over and land the other side. If you get caught, the first motorbike won't respawn, but don't worry, there's another one at the airstrip just up here. On your first trip to the island, remember to scope the drainage tunnel. Future you will thank you. Now to do this, steal a boat from here, head out and around to this point here. Dive in and swim down. You'll hear Pavel say he's found the drainage tunnel.
Wait, what is this? A tunnel? It must be some kind of drainage outlet. And for us, a back door. If you have strong stomach, you will need equipment to burn through grate underwater. But this we can find. This is why we do reconnaissance, yes?
By doing this, you'll open up the cutter prep mission. This gives you access to the easiest way into the compound, and it also means you won't need to go and find the bolt cutters. If you want to make your life easier, look in one of these locations. Here you'll find the cutting powder. If you steal that and head over to one of the water towers here, you'll give the entire island, well, yeah. On the subject of making things easier, all over the island you will find guard outfits. Now these are useful for two things. If you want to get your secondary loot from the island before getting the main target, the uniform will make sure you don't get spotted. And if you're looting from the airstrip or the compound, you don't really need this. But if you're looting from anywhere else, this will make your life a lot easier. Also, if you are new to this heist, the disguise allows you to move around the island freely. It can be really useful if you just want to learn more about the layout of the island and what routes you can take. Get the right secondary loot. The heist has two components, the main target and the secondary loot. Both are generated in a random-ish manner, with the game looking at how long ago you last did the heist. So for the main target, you pretty much get what you're given. But with the secondary loot, you can choose, so
choose. And choose wisely.
Gold is the most valuable loot, but unless you're doing a glitch, this is not available solo. On the glitches, I don't think they're really worth the effort. I tried for this video, but I found it impossible on console. And you make more than enough money from this heist, and you can make more than enough from the rest of the game. So personally, I wouldn't bother trying. But back to the gold, 1.5 stacks will fill your bag. Then there's a Coca-Cola, which is the second most valuable. Quite often you can get a full bag of this from the 3 lootable locations at the airstrip. Now this is easy to do and get the elite challenge, so this is my go-to for solo runs. You'll need 2 stacks to fill your bag. Third are paintings. There are 2 places in the office where they might spawn. Each one takes up half of your bag and has a similar value to the cola. Grass comes in 4th, and 2.5-ish stacks will fill your bag. Cash is last, and it's also the slowest because you'll need 4 stacks to fill your bag. Now if you're mixing and matching, remember to leave space for the most valuable loot. For example, if you've got 4 cash at the airstrip and a painting in the office, don't fill up your bag with the cash. Just take 2 stacks of cash from the airstrip and then take a painting when you get to the office. On the subject of the airstrip, make sure you scope the loot locations at the airstrip if you're soloing the heist. If you're doing it as a team member, remember to scope the rooms in the compound, as these are the only places where gold will spawn. For solo heists, long fin is by far the easiest and most efficient glitch-free method. And for teams, the Kasatka approach is pretty much unrivaled. The other approaches are all well worth doing for variety and for rewards. The only other one I find fun is the Alkanost. It has quite a fun setup mission, and parachuting in is pretty cool. And if you want a more detailed breakdown of every approach, there's a video covering them all here. When you're scoping the island, the fastest route back to the plane is to kill yourself or get caught. Or you can change session, but I usually just take a dive off the tower.
I can fly!
Move your sub. It can cost 2,000 and it will save you a lot of time. However, if you're in the area, just call it from your interaction menu for free. That will save you the $2,000. You need to move it to the north to make it easier to get to the Vellum for the scoping mission. You need to move it to the port as you fly over it, remembering to use your interaction menu. This is if you want to skip the Merryweather weapons mission, but more on that later. Its final resting place should be Vespucci Beach. This is the most convenient place for most of the setup missions. So you can call it from your interaction menu when you return to the sub after your first setup mission. Wear the hard hat. I find the cutter prep missions much easier in stealth. To do that, grab the hard hat. This will allow you to walk around without triggering the guard straight away. You can then jump straight in your Sparrow and
fly back now, little Starling. Fly, fly, fly.
Shoot the cameras at the second warehouse. This will mean you don't get chased back to the sub. You don't need to bother with the first because it doesn't seem to make a significant difference to how quickly the guards spot you. But I guess if you just like shooting things, then
Shoot them both.
shoot the Valkyrie down. Now you might need to wait until you can afford missiles to do this, but it's absolutely worth it. The Merryweather mission is probably the worst mission in the entire game. The Tony McTony robbery, where the police behave like infected from 28 days later, I mean, yeah, that's quite frustrating, and grinding special cargo is pretty dull, but this mission is terrible. You have to follow the slowest helicopter in the game, presumably piloted by a blind trainee, for what seems like 5 to 10 minutes across the whole map, before doing 2 shootouts and heading back to the sub. Or you can just blow the Valkyrie up and sneak through the office and fly off the roof. I know which I prefer, but unless you're into dinghy removals...
And so now the main part where I have to put 17 dinghies to stop 15 possible setups from spawning.
The only way to swap missions is to shoot the heli, fail the mission, and try again. Believe me, you'll thank me for it. Steal the Phantom Wedge. When you steal the truck for the long fin approach, you'll see 2 locations on the map. One has 2 truck icons, the other has 1. The location with 1 truck icon will be the Phantom Wedge. Now there are a couple of dudes to kill, but it's faster and, let's be honest, a hell of a lot more fun. If you're going to start grinding Kaioo, you'll probably want to buy the Phantom Wedge eventually anyway, because then you can just spawn it in from the police station and save yourself around 5 minutes on each heist. However you get the wedge, when you have it, open your map and drop a pin here. Then head straight there. If you've still got the police following you when you get there, get out, run up the dock and grenade yourself. Some people say to stop and kill yourself at the start, but I think this is the fastest way because you might actually lose the cops on your way anyway, and they don't really cause you any hassle. And if you don't lose them, well, a quick death will sort you out. Buy the Sparrow as soon as you can. not just for Cayo, you need this in your GTA life. This is easily the most useful helicopter in the game. It's fast, it spawns right next to you, it has unlimited spammable missiles. Yes, it's made from balsa wood and bits of string, so lasts about as long as a coat you've bought from Temu, but for 1.7 million, this is one of the best value and most essential purchases in the game. If you're soloing the finale, take this route. There are many overcomplicated routes that can be a pain to do and only save seconds. This is the easiest route, but you need to be quick, and remember, don't kill anyone yet. So, run straight away to beat the jug, go right and up the stairs. Head over here, remember, dead bodies can be found by the juggernaut, so don't kill anyone yet. Mind the camera and the guard. Jump this wall, and this one. Walk patiently around this guard. Sneak past this guard too, don't worry, his time will come. Then shoot this guard quickly and accurately. You want single headshots, as guards will hear ricochets. If any guards you kill drop the keys, pick them up. You can use these to get access to a faster fingerprint panel and a faster way out of the compound. More on these later. Empty the safe. You'll get between 30 and 100,000, so remember this every time. Matching the fingerprints just takes practice. If you're really struggling, then for each print, get the top print in the window and then move down each in turn. In this window, press right once, in this one, twice. It's a bit slow this way, but it makes it easier until you get the hang of it. If you're doing the finale as a team, one of you will need to kill the juggernaut. This will make everything so much easier, as it's usually the juggernaut that finds your dead bodies. There are a few other roaming guards that do too, but for a team, especially if you're going after gold, killing the jug is essential and makes your life so much easier. Now there are a few methods, some involve making tricky jumps to get on the roof. You don't need to do any of that. As soon as you load in, one of you needs to run around here, jump up here and hide in this corner. Wait until the juggernaut is around halfway across the courtyard, then just jump over the wall and put 3 in his back. You'll thank yourself for choosing the aggressor loadout for this approach. You can do it with the conspirator, but you'll need to knock him over first, and you do that by running into him. So keep it easy and always choose the aggressor loadout. And last tip for this video, do the elite challenge. To get the elite challenge, you'll need to complete the finale in under 15 minutes without setting off the alarm and with full loot bags. Now once you're used to this heist, this is easy and you should be able to get it every time. On a standard run, you'll get an extra 50,000. In hard mode, you'll get an extra 100. To get to hard mode, you need to rebuy the heist an hour after your previous attempt if that was with a team, or 2.5 hours after you did it solo. You actually have a 48-minute window that starts at 48 minutes for a team and 144 minutes for a solo, so it's just easier to remember 1 hour for a team, 2.5 hours for a solo attempt. Running in hard mode only removes the extra lives, but it gives you extra cash for the main target and more money for the elite challenge. Now when you do buy the heist in hard mode, don't scope the island until you're ready to do the heist. Scoping it straight away increases the chances of getting the tequila, so if you won't be doing the heist for a couple of days, just pay the setup fee, then save your game and scope the island later. You'll have a better chance of getting a more valuable main target. Now that's a lot of tips for one video, so you might not remember all of these straight away, so you know what I'm going to say. Drop a like, subscribe and save this video because you can always watch it again later as you progress through the game. So take care of yourselves and I will see you all in the next one, which will be covering the agency and the Dre contract.